and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the second meeting of the Reorganization Committee of Ellettsville and the Township of Richland. Yeah, let's do prayer and pledge. I'll say a prayer. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many ways that you bless us. Tons of folks don't have roofs over their heads, or the kind of clothes that we wear, or the food that we eat, or the clean water that we drink. We praise you for all of that. We thank you that we can meet like this in a country that we're free to do so. We thank you that we can do this justly and in order. And we ask that you lead, guide, and direct us. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I guess minutes.
Andrew, if you want to do roll call.
Andrew, you want to do roll call?
Go ahead and do roll call. I am present. Kevin is present. William,
I'm present. I
Dawn,
don't know if I'm all here, but I'm present.
and Scott is absent. We are expecting Mike though, right?
That, as far as I know.
Okay.
will be here.
Okay, and we've all gotten a copy of the minutes from the last meeting, the first meeting. You want to do roll call?
So that's a good question. I was not sure what my responsibility was as secretary. Am I required to provide a hard copy for the entire committee to sign at a subsequent meeting? What's the process for approving and entering our minutes?
Well, typically, I think that would be appropriate if you wanted to send them out, and I'm sorry I didn't discuss this with you at the last meeting. It would be appropriate before a meeting to go ahead and email copies of the minutes. Okay.
And I got feedback, but I didn't have a hard copy that we would sign.
For the next meeting, why don't you bring a hard copy so that they can sign off? Thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, or shall we wait till the next meeting to do that when we have the hard copy to sign?
Let's wait.
Okay.
Okay, I guess the next item on the agenda would be to elect a seventh member. Does everybody concur?
Concur.
Okay, and do we have a nomination?
I'll nominate Dr. Jerry Sanders from the Richland Bean Blossom School System Superintendent.
Which is what we were hoping for, was somebody from the education community. Got a nomination, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Dawn seconds. I'll call the roll. Andrew votes yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Yes. William?
Yes.
Yes. Dawn?
Yes.
Okay, I guess
I mean, Dr. Sanders can come up here now if he'd like.
and then run the meeting. Where's he
Yeah.
at?
That's why we're applauding.
And you're supposed to bring a gavel, but obviously you don't have a gavel, so
Noel's hiding it. The gavel.
I'm gonna move over. Do you wanna run the meeting? We prefer you to. Why don't you run it?
Yeah.
What's that?
So now our committee's complete. So the next thing I would say, to bring it up to speed, would be formation of subcommittees and appointments to the subcommittees.
I would say everybody that we've got on this side that has committed, why don't we go over them? And I don't see anybody, I'm not objectionable to anybody. Is anybody objectionable to any of them?
There's some discussion maybe with a couple, but I don't have objections to any of them.
You wanna do that?
Is the target 3 members on each subcommittee?
A minimum of 3.
Minimum 3. Thank you.
Why don't we take them committee by committee?
Sounds great. And just, you put these numbers so that way we don't have to discuss the names. We can just say number 5, number 4, have a discussion with that without having to, okay.
So the first one is planning and zoning. We have 3 people, citizens who volunteered.
I know that I have
spoken with number 16 and 17. And they both have some pretty extensive knowledge, at least as far as agriculture goes.
16 and 17 over the undetermined category?
Yes.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. 17 and 8, wait a minute. Yeah, 16 and 17 is right.
I thought you were right. I definitely would move number 17 over to planning and zoning, because I think that would be that person's expertise.
Number 16 has, I don't know. He has, that person is an associate professor. Let's see here. Holds a master's degree and a PhD from Parks and Rec, tourism, so maybe that would be a better one. But he also has a farm in Richland Township that he currently has livestock on and runs a business through. He has background in academia centers on rural land rights and tenure agriculture, dairying, and farming systems, with particular attention how to policy and government's decisions affect rural livelihoods and landscapes. So I guess there's really a few places he could go.
I have no objection to planning and zoning.
Why are they in undetermined? Is it undetermined that they want to serve, but they not sure where they want to serve? They
Correct.
want us to,
Some of them
okay.
expressed a preference. You'll see some had something marked in the preference column, but several of them said, I'm interested in this, or this, or this, and I'm willing to serve wherever you guys need something.
Okay.
Some of these people applied before we had blasted out to since we're going by the Sheridan plan, we knew that plan, which was public, what the subcommittees were, but we hadn't gelled that
Put
yet.
that out, what committees we were looking for yet.
So, how do you want to do this? You want to do motion, a second?
So, yeah, somebody will have to make a motion a second, or,
Do we want to do these separately?
Or can we combine them?
well, I would say make a motion for whoever you think ought to be on planning and zoning.
Okay, so my understanding is they both want to be on planning and zoning?
Plus the three that are already listed there.
Well, I make a motion
Do
that,
we need to make a motion to actually create the subcommittee as well? Is it already created? Does it exist yet? We have a list of proposed subcommittees, but we did not create them at the last meeting.
I don't know, do we need to put teeth to those?
I would, just for the record.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I'll make a motion to create the subcommittee for planning and zoning.
I second it.
And that's with these 5 individuals, or just
Well, just right now for the subcommittee.
forming some subcommittee, okay. All right. We had a motion, a second, any discussion?
Who seconded it? I didn't get that written down. I did. Okay, Kevin seconded.
I think just for the public to know that planning and zoning will be looking at the different, the township and the actual, what they'd call urban. I know people, it's hard to believe Ellettsville would be considered urban, but they have different needs, different wants, different desires, and we want to reflect that in our planning to zoning, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. I mean, what works for in town may not work for somebody that owns 50, 60 acres, and we want to reflect that. Most of our UDO currently does that, but we don't know what we don't know, and that's why the subcommittee is there. Anybody else want to add to that?
Just a question for how we actually run this in the interest of saving my hand. Is it possible that we do a motion that creates all the listed subcommittees, or do we want to do every single one of them individually?
I think it's
I
okay.
move that we create the following subcommittees and then list them in a single motion.
That's what
I
would
agree.
do.
I think,
Okay,
I
let's
agree.
do,
You want me to amend my motion?
please, amend.
I'll amend my motion to create the subcommittees of planning and zoning. Subcommittee of Finance, Subcommittee of Governance, Subcommittee of Public Safety, Subcommittee of Parks and Rec, and Subcommittee of Roads and Streets, and we're actually missing one on here, Water, Sewer, and Wastewater.
Okay, water, sewer, wastewater.
And somewhere I saw that Parks and Rec was also cemeteries.
True.
So, do we want to discuss these and open it for public comment on these before we vote? See if there's,
I think that would be reasonable. If anybody wants to give public comment on that list of subcommittees, I would be willing to hear public comment on it.
Would anybody like to speak on the subcommittees that have been made motions on?
That list was planning and zoning, finance, governance, public safety, parks and rec, roads and streets, and water, sewer, wastewater.
On Parks and Recs, we want to add cemeteries.
yes.
I have a question. So what about Department of Aid that would cover what the trustee currently does?
Would that fall under finance? Or
If
do
you
we
guys
need-
say it
That's
will.
That's, you know,
What's the pleasure of the, I mean, that's a good question.
I think it's gonna be hard for us to find enough people that are knowledgeable enough in that area. I don't know.
Sure, just so, I just wanted to mention it so somebody would not think we're leaving it out.
Sure. I do have somebody that we could potentially put there.
All right, what's the thoughts? I'm comfortable with being under finance,
I am too.
I am,
Yeah.
so am I.
but we did have a public open. Don't see any?
Or would anybody like to speak from the public? No
All right.
comments?
Nope. Yes,
All right,
call the motion.
ready to proceed to vote on the creation of these subcommittees?
I second it.
Okay. William moved, Kevin seconded. I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Yes. Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All
Thank
right. And to get Mike up to speed, we just created officially the subcommittees.
you. Is there a copy of the list down there?
I do not have another copy.
Okay. I have an additional.
I'll pass it.
Mike, this is our scratch list of nominees for subcommittees, people who have volunteered to serve. We did add a water, sewer, and wastewater subcommittee, which was not originally on this spreadsheet, and then added in line 28, parks and rec and cemeteries to that subcommittee.
I would recommend that in the future you call it water, storm, and wastewater.
Water,
with that.
storm, and wastewater.
Just to clear the air for some people.
It's out of my wheelhouse of expertise, so. I'll defer to
So
you.
amended.
Yep.
So that'd be water, sewer, and wastewater,
Water, storm,
Sewer, and wastewater.
and storm, okay.
water,
Water, sewer.
storm, sewer, and wastewater? Okay.
That sounds like an Avengers movie.
Superheroes.
Infinity wastewater. All right.
We have the subcommittees now. Do you want to appoint the people?
Yes, and I think if, since with our discussion here, there were no objections, I think it'd be safe to read the names of those who were planning, that were that we're putting to the vote for planning and zoning. Well, I guess I can. All right, planning and zoning, I'd like to nominate Diane Critchlow, Eric Spoonmore, Mike Richardson, James Farmer, and Marv Olmert.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion?
None?
Mike seconded it.
Now, do you want to have public comment on each of these before we vote, or do it at the end?
I'm not opposed to doing it one by one. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of,
I'm not opposed to one by one either. If somebody really wants to say something, I think they should be able to.
yeah,
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
sure.
I would also suggest that Denise Line be on that committee, obviously, so.
Okay,
Could I talk about that, please?
Sure.
Well, I was going to recommend, after you go through the different committees, that I was going to recommend that we embed a department head that usually takes care of that for the Ellettsville, town of Ellettsville now, and whether they're committee members or they're there to help with any questions or to run them through how we do our business. I was going to recommend that each department head pick pick what they do now, and you can utilize them for information and maybe some guidance.
What if we just vote on the volunteers who are volunteering to serve on these committees, and then the town can assign people to people who work for the town to the different
That works
subcommittees?
really good.
and that may solve the issue with yours too.
Yes, yeah.
So the information's there, but
We can just
Right.
assign her to that.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Okay.
So I think we probably should make a motion to that for clarity that we're empowering the town or township, because there's, I think, one definitely they want to assign someone to. But if we want to, should we just get through the planning and zoning first? Yeah, exactly. Right now, the only motion is the planning and zoning.
There was a sixth person that you mentioned to be added to the list?
Well,
That was the
That's a town.
town supervisor.
Gotcha,
that-
okay. And so that discussion
We're
addressed
still
that.
at
and-
5 volunteers.
right.
Okay, our 5 volunteers are Dan Critchlow, Eric Spoonmore, Mike Richardson, James Farmer, and Marv Olmet.
And we have a motion and a second. And did we call for public comment?
Yes, but we didn't have any.
Okay, all right.
Any public comment on those 5 nominees for planning and zoning subcommittee? Diane Critchlow, Eric Spoonmore, Mike Richardson, James Farmer, and Marv Olmet.
Okay, vote.
1 second, writing as fast as I can. Will we take them all as a group, or are we doing them individually?
Just as a group.
Okay. The motion to place on the planning and zoning subcommittee, Diane Critchlow, Eric Spoonmore, Mike Richardson, James Farmer, and Marv Olmet. Calling the roll, I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Yes. Jerry?
Yes.
Yes. William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. All right, motion passes.
Okay, next is Finance Committee. Finance, did we add something to that?
Yes, poor relief. Do we want to call it poor relief? Is there an official?
Well, the township calls it township assistance, and poor relief is
It's kind
somewhat
a-
of a
Yeah,
derogatory.
exactly.
So,
No.
I feel a better way to put it would be public assistance.
Public is, okay.
Finance and public assistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be amending our previous motion to add and public assistance in the creation of that subcommittee list.
Okay, we have 3 individuals listed here. Do you want to add 2 more from the undetermined list?
We had several people that when I spoke to them expressed a particular interest in the finance committee, so we have 3 people that specifically expressed interest, in addition to the 3 that we had initially,
One
yes.
is from the township, and she does not live in the township, though, but she works at the township. So we can, the
She could be
township
ex
office can
officio.
be the ex officio.
Okay.
So she doesn't need to be included in that.
What?
Included in the list of the 5.
So we have 2 more, which would bring it to 5.
What's the two more?
Number four,
Line 4 and 11.
Next time I'll give you columns, so we'll have like 1 to 30A and 1 to 30B.
Are we okay with adding those two?
I have no objections.
I spoke to number 4 and number 11. Both of them seemed motivated and enthusiastic. I'm excited to have them on. I had not had the opportunity to talk to the 3 who were over in the left-hand column yet.
I've spoken to number 12 and number 13, and they're very enthusiastic about it.
I know number 13 has a lot of experience previously
Absolutely.
that will be beneficial.
Objections or other comments from the board, can we go ahead and read the names and then request public comment?
Well, again, do we need to make a motion to move them from one column to the other? Can we just?
I would just name the
Okay, all right.
All right.
You-
I'll move that we appoint the following to the Finance and Public Assistance Committee: Kenny Williams, Jerry Cravens, Sandy Hash, Elaine Thompson, and Richard Matt.
I second it.
Any public comments? Okay, any discussion up here at the board?
Just that we have a great list of candidates.
We do.
It is,
This is tapping into the talent pool.
yes.
Ready to roll call?
Yes.
Okay. To place the following on the Finance Committee: Kenny Williams, Jerry Cravens, Sandy Hash, Elaine Thompson, and Richard Matt. I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Yes. Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes,
Yes. Dawn?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, next subcommittee is governance. We have 2 who volunteered for this subcommittee.
from the list of undecideds, for anybody that knows them, I don't know most of the undecideds. Is there a third person we can bring over to? And for the public, keep in mind, we can add to these committees later, too.
Or if there's anyone in the audience that would like
Correct.
to be on this,
Step
please
up,
raise up your hand and tell us a little bit about yourself.
yes. Governance will be the committee that will decide how the town council will be reorganized, how the wards, or probably considered council districts at that time, will be organized, whether they'll be in districts, all at large, a combination of both, what precincts will go into what district, and how to merge the township, trustee office and some of their duties in the actual, because I think there's a provision in the code where the township trustee can still be elected, but they just serve with the town. So those are all things that have to be, that they'll hash out on that.
What about number 5 on the undetermined list for governance?
I don't know the person, but I have no objection.
I'm all for it, if you think
Is
they'd be
anyone
willing.
with familiarity with number, 5, I'm at the wrong person. I don't know if that's where he would want to be, because I do know with him.
Based on his work experience, you think another committee might be a better fit for him?
Well, traditionally, probably planning and zoning, but we're kind of full on that. But if we have that can be added later. Let's see, I don't see him here. He has some experience
Well, he
with
didn't,
this.
he didn't specifically say on any other subcommittees.
No, he said he'd help where he could.
So I think he would do a good job.
I think he would too. And if he decides not to, then we'll handle that.
So we are moving on line 5 to the governance committee?
Yes.
Okay.
Any others you want to add to governance? We can always add people later, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to read the names?
Yep. So,
Someone else
You wanna
make a motion?
I'll make a motion
Right.
that we move number 19 over, and so we will have, under governance, we will have Noel Conyer, Tom Spencer, and Tice Carmichael.
I'll second.
Any comments from the public? Or any volunteers?
Don't make us volunteer.
Governance sounds like a hoot, guys. Get in on the fun.
All right. Any more discussion from the board?
I'm good.
Okay.
All right, roll call to place on the governance committee Noel Conyer, Tom Spencer, and Tice Carmichael. I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, next one is public safety.
We considered number 25 as a possible member on this subcommittee. I would actually, since we had several other people who expressed interest and had relevant experience in the undetermined, maybe even just in the interest of having that one person in line 25 who has a lot on his plate not be overloaded, I would rather place someone else in that position.
And we could also put him as an ex officio if need be.
Okay.
Vote on that, or?
I wouldn't think so, because we never voted on this person being,
So are there two others you want to add?
From the undetermined column, I spoke with Sherry Newcomer, and she expressed a strong interest in the Public Safety Committee. Sorry. Line 14.
I knew that was going to happen. I'm just glad it wasn't me.
Does it matter, look at number 23?
I wouldn't have an issue with it, but
I don't, but I
Right.
don't know if anyone.
I was
else
not there in
does.
connection.
you may be now.
You are now.
Okay.
I think that would be a problem.
We also had interest in the Public Safety Committee from undetermined line 12.
I have no objections.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
I motion that under the category of public safety, that we nominate Zach Michaels, John Newcomer, Calvin Poole, Josh Conway, and Sherry Newcomer.
I'll second.
All right, first and second. Any comment from the public? All right, any more discussion from the board? None from me. All right.
And so on the motion to place on the Public Safety Committee, Zach Michaels, John Newcomer, Calvin Poole, Sherry Newcomer, and Josh Conway, I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries is the next subcommittee. We have two individuals who've indicated they would like to serve on that subcommittee. Are there any others that the board would like to add?
I do need to clarify, number 29, I could not find a specific recommendation with the town of where that person wanted to serve, but I also believe they submitted to the township. Am I correct on that? Oh, they did not? Okay. Then it may have just been orally telling us, so they can always say no. Is there anybody from the undecideds that you guys know that would be,
I think
Good
number
for
8 or 9.
Both of them have opted out.
they've opted out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anyone else?
While we're doing it.
Anybody
yes,
else who's opted out?
Number 2 and number 3
Have both opted out?
opted out.
Okay, thank you.
And also number 6 and number 7 are question mark, unless anybody knows different.
I do not.
Thanks, Gary.
Then there's one person left.
Well, we've got,
Right.
we've got 3 people,
3?
3.
Okay,
I was gonna say number
Oh.
10.
okay.
You would like to add number 10?
Yes.
Any others? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I will move to nominate for Parks, Rec, and Cemeteries, Jim Perry, Paula Anderson, and Michael Clemens.
Any comments from the public? Any more comments from the board? All right, we'll take a vote.
All right, to place on the Parks, Rec, and Cemeteries Committee, Jim Perry, Paula Anderson, and Michael Clemens, I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I do want to, I could not find the contact information for Jim Perry. I don't know why, because he's emailed me numerous times, but it's not showing up in my email. So my I plan to reach out to him today to make sure that was okay. But if anyone has contact information, I would love it. I can reach out to him tomorrow to confirm this is okay with him.
We are going to confirm with all of these.
Absolutely.
All right, roads and streets. We have 2 individuals. Does the board want to add any others?
Are these the 2 we have left?
And, yeah,
Okay.
and we don't have anybody, though. We don't have anybody for water.
That's true.
I would recommend doing the 2 that have already said that they would like to serve on roads and streets. And then for water, storm, sewer, and waste, table that one. And then maybe go back and some of these undetermined people, ask if they would want to serve on one or the other.
Especially with roads and streets, water, storm and wastewater, and public safety, I would say they really require more of a specialization of those. So,
I wouldn't be opposed to folks that work for the street department and water and sewer, them being on it. Would you have any feel for it one way or the other?
I sure would.
What is that?
Well, yeah, I mean, we was going to embed somebody in the committee. If it's not inappropriate, I would recommend maybe number 4 would fit into that committee as well. I don't know if he'll be interested.
Number 5?
Well, it's Tice, so.
Yep, number 5. I was gonna ask, do we have any objection to having occasionally people be on 2 subcommittees? Is that,
if they can handle it, I don't have an objection. But we can also, some of these others are gonna take longer. Planning and zoning is gonna take a while. Finance, public safety. Yeah, governance, a lot of that luckily will be,
Place.
yeah, and more of a math problem on how to draw the districts. The state code guides that. They have to be fairly equal. Big difference is how we're gonna do it at large or all districts.
So on roads and streets, water, storm, sewer, and wastewater, does everybody understand what I asked? I would recommend having people from the departments that's already in place. Since they're the experts, they know the ins and outs and all the
Right.
pitfalls, everything conducive to those positions that.
If they're employees that are willing to serve.
Yeah.
I think that would
Don't
be a
want it
good
to
idea.
look like a conflict of interest, but who's going to know those areas of expertise better than the folks that do it day in
Right,
and day
and
Right.
keep in mind, there may be people that work for other municipalities in Richland Township that could serve on these committees, that they work, for Bloomington Streets or Bloomington, and they could put their 2 cents worth in.
So we have 2 other water companies that'll be inside our town limits if this happens. So maybe I could reach out to Van Buren Water and Bean Blossom Patricksburg, and they could have someone that would represent not only their interests and knowledge, but they could lend it to what we're doing, and it would allow for coordination in the future.
What
So,
about Eastland, Richland?
Pardon?
I was gonna say, what about Eastland Richland Sewer Corporation?
a really good idea. Yeah, so probably somebody from that, and that would make up a really good, and the Eastern Richland Sewer Corporation could probably serve up somebody that would be willing to help with this. That's a really good idea. I left them out for some reason.
Would the board entertain a motion for me to table the appointment for water, storm, and wastewater to our next meeting, so we can,
Reach out to those folks.
yes.
I think that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and if I could make one recommendation, he works as a consultant engineer for us now. Look at, see if Rick Kopic might want to
Absolutely.
be on that committee. There's nobody smarter than him when it comes to that.
Isn't he
subject.
MS4 or something like that?
He's an MS4, and he's a water sewer engineer, and he's been consulting for the town for the last 30-some years, so he knows land use and all the ordinances that pertain to about everything about a town or a city.
No conflict in any of that.
So we
Well,
can,
I will move to table the appointments for water, storm, and wastewater.
we did not.
We haven't done road and streets yet.
Okay.
yeah, we'll come back to that.
I'm on to my 3rd sheet of motions already.
All right,
Warm that up.
We're not gonna put roads and streets under that? I'd do the same
well,
thing
we're gonna,
No,
we're gonna
it's-
come back to roads and streets,
tonight.
yes.
Mhm.
Right now, we've got a motion to table the water, sewer, storm, whatever you wanna call it, waste.
And William made that motion?
Yep.
Okay.
Did we have a second?
Kevin seconded, didn't you, Kevin?
Yes. Any public comment on that? Any comment from the board?
Good.
Vote?
Okay, so calling the roll on the motion to table the water, storm, sewer, and wastewater appointments until next meeting, I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, back to roads and streets. Like I said, there's 2 on here. I believe there are 2 on the undetermined. Or are there more that we have? 2.
13 and 15.
I reached out to number 13 today, but was not able to reach her, so I do not have a feel for what she would have any preference for at all.
Road and streets, that may be something where just a general, I mean, we do need some expertise, and the ones I nominated on here have that. But we might want members of the public too, because there may be some needs that they want to address or concerns with the difference between the way they're being done now in the township and the way the town does it, just from a public point of view. So and just for the public, if we move the other 2 people we're kind of talking about to this committee, everyone that applied will have gotten appointed. So, and I'm thinking they can always decline it.
That's correct.
But I think it's good to have a public bird's eye view, because sometimes when you're in it, you're not maybe seeing some of the minor things. I wouldn't say minor, maybe major to them. That we may be able to address.
So you're proposing moving 13 and 15 onto roads and streets?
That's what I heard.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? On number
12. In the preference, they've stated their preference, but as a backup, roads and streets, and I know we've already agreed to place them on public safety. How does everybody feel about moving, or I guess they could do both?
I would recommend that when we talk to that person, say, here's what we recommended and what we put you on, and fill them out if they want to do the other one too.
He said as a backup, if we can't find folks that are willing to serve from the streets and
Right.
water and sewer in place now, that they, move them around and serve on both, or.
I think that's very reasonable that when we notify them that we say, this is what you said was your primary interest, that's where we placed you, however, we are light on people in the thing you expressed your backup interest in. Do you want to stick with it, or do you want to move to the other subcommittee?
I would agree.
Okay.
Okay, so are we ready for a motion on this one?
So we moved,
13 and 15, and potentially 12.
I'll ask our attorneys this. If any of these people say, I've changed my mind, or this isn't the committee I want, do we have to make those moves at another public meeting? As in remove them? Or can we, I understand appointing someone new, we would probably need to have another public meeting. But if they say, look, I just don't want to do this, are we able to just remove them? Because if not, they just won't show up.
I think if they just resign or send somebody a letter or an email saying, I don't want to serve, I think that's fine. And you can appoint their replacement at a subsequent meeting.
Right, okay.
I make a motion to, for the roads and streets, to appoint Daniel Bittner, Roger Woods, Corina Cosentino and Melissa Stone, and possibly Josh, yes, Condor.
Okay, second? A second. All right, any public comment on these names for the parks and, I'm sorry, roads and streets?
Roger Woods, Corinna Cosentino, and Melissa Stone.
Board comment?
All right, on the motion to place on the Roads and Streets Subcommittee, Daniel Bittner, Roger Woods, Corinna Cosentino, and Melissa Stone, I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Well, we got our first subcommittees now tomorrow. We probably should, are we able, we each need to reach out to these people, or I mean, so I think each of us, we could divide which subcommittee to. Is that administrative that we can, do we have to decide that tonight at the public meeting, or can we decide that amongst ourselves? On
think that's-
contacting them saying, you were appointed?
I think that's one of those administrative things you can decide among yourselves.
Okay.
What are the general objectives for these committees?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What are the general objectives of these committees?
Objections?
Objectives.
Yes. My understanding, again, based on the Sheridan Plan and what I've looked at, they are to formulate a plan on a reorganization merger between both to see kind of the nuts and bolts of it, what it would take to cover, I'll just use roads and streets, what it would take financially, manpower-wise, to cover that entire footprint. Same with public safety, finance, but the finances would look like merging the two, because we'll have some savings because there's duplications of effort, but then there also may be more, there will be more expenses because we have the public assistance. So they'll have to figure out what extent, I mean, they could say, look, I recommend we need a public assistance office as an example. Well, then that's obviously going to affect the final plan with the finances. So they've got to formulate a plan for their section. That's my understanding.
What's the time frame?
We really need to have this done by March or April.
I think we need to set a time frame. I think we need to set a date. It said, get your stuff into this organization.
Get us
board.
to this,
I have a question. Can I ask a question? Will someone?
if you come up to the, and the reason I said March or April, again, this is just my opinion. That there's no hard, so we can adjust anything.
Sure.
And go back.
My name is Diane Critchlow. Who will determine the official objective of each of these subcommittees? Will the committee itself determine it? Will you as a panel give them? Because I feel it's important for each subcommittee to be effective and efficient in what is really a fairly short period of time before November. It will need to be very clear what they are to do.
I totally agree. I was going to make a suggestion. I know that there's a group going to Sheridan
Yep.
Friday. I was going to suggest waiting till after that conversation is held, and then at our next meeting, I have ready a list of duties and responsibilities for each subcommittee that we would approve.
You know what, maybe this necessitates a meeting in between next week, because if we do it in 2 weeks from now, another meeting, and we determine that, and then it's 2 weeks from then before they've got everything, they've lost a month.
Merely for the objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as quick as we can get moving on that, have another meeting next week, define everything. And,
I'm for that, and
Reasonable.
I would also say that, though, I would still think that tomorrow and Friday, as soon as we can, we contact these people so they can, and give them all the information, the other committee members, so they can form when they're gonna meet. They don't need to wait on the objectives to when they're gonna have their first meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we'll
Get a
have the
feel for
objectives to
each
inform,
other and-
yes.
And everything else.
Well, I think the objectives will help you fill your holes in the subcommittees and the people that are there, if they know what they're signing up to do.
Well,
And if it's their area of expertise or not their area. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do.
Right.
But, you know, if you look for people with that skill set, it will make it easier and more effective, too.
And they might want to move around.
Right, and there's very few subcommittees we have with holes on them, but the ones that do, all of them need a clear objective, because what we don't want is I mean, we kind of know what we want, but we need to all agree this is what we want and get them on the same page, because otherwise we're going to be spending 6 months going back and forth.
And also, the folks that are already in place with the township and with the town, my understanding is they'll be available to consult, lead, guide, direct.
They will, and I will. And I'd like to mention that this is not reinventing the wheel. We have a template on all these where, yeah, where we're already actually going through the procedures and we have a plan and so it can be a template that you can improve on or change like you want, but it's not like we're gonna have to start from scratch.
Gathering, my opinion. It's more fact gathering. What's it gonna cost to buy this much salt for the roads for a township versus a town, or a township and a town?
Right, and I've been walking through with the department heads what we may or may not do for the committee. I said we need to plan on being available if they want a 101 on what we do and why it costs what it costs, and maybe even a rundown of how many people there are. And so I was going to offer at some point in this meeting to get a ride along or come in to get an overview of how it operates now. Maybe we even have a work session where we kind of go through all the departments, and it doesn't have to be long and
Not every committee member, subcommittee member needs to be there.
That's right, but the town will be available to answer the questions, and the township on, I don't know a lot about what the township does, but I know somewhat what they do just because I interact with them. So I think the information's already there, the template's already in place, and some of the, objectives is, especially in a new formed reorganized town, those things will be important, and that's where I think the subcommittees and the committee will hatch out the new reorganized town.
And we'll learn a lot Friday. Folks, it's already been through it. If you had it all over to do again, how would you do it different? How would you do it better? How would you do it, whatever, and bring that to the table too.
And so the department heads and the township officials do not report things to this board. The township officials, the town departments do not report anything to this board. They go through the subcommittees, correct?
They could do both.
I don't think so.
I don't know
No,
what
it's-
you mean by they don't report.
Nobody should be reporting directly to us. They go through their subcommittees, and then the subcommittee will then present things to this board. for
Oh,
us
in
to
that
make
sense, yes, in that sense,
Okay.
yes,
All
yes.
right, I want to make sure that's,
Yeah,
all right, so,
Yeah, we don't want it to be helter-skelter.
yeah, we can't do that, okay.
So, bringing myself up to speed, someone mentioned March, we have a timeline.
Yeah, that was just my thoughts. What Mike and Darla and Eric probably have a better feel for that. And I'm giving some room for us to, no plan's usually perfect the first draft. And if I go by the experience for the UDO that we did, there was some back and forth and fine tuning that we need to do. And if we get it March or early April, that gives us plenty of time to fine tune that before we submit it to the state.
Yes, Baker Tilly's timeline assumes that the reorganization plan will be prepared and ready to be presented to the council and the township board by the end of May.
Okay.
So,
That would be the final plan to vote on, correct?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just a little hesitant. Go ahead, Diane.
And I may be ahead of myself. Will each subcommittee then have a chair and a spokesperson, one would assume?
Yes,
I mean.
I would,
okay.
I would think so.
And that will be determined by the subcommittee itself, or will you appoint one?
I say let's wait until we see what happened up north.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's it. And then my next question, what do you want in this second little box on this piece of paper? I'm done asking questions. Something,
As long as we have your name, we're all set.
you're good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
I
Name.
want to make sure
And
that,
blood type.
I want to make sure that, I know we have timelines, but I also don't want to rush into anything. So I feel like we need to take our time, making sure these subcommittees, that we're organized, that they know what their task is.
Right.
That they get organized. I think it would be good to have a work session with each subcommittee and, before they get started, so, they can, ask questions, we can provide answers. And
I was kind of thinking to have all the subcommittees, everybody that is on a subcommittee come and we could have a work session. In other words, not just us at a work session planning, not just a work session with finance, but all of them. Is that kind of what you're thinking too?
that would probably be
Yeah,
more
and that way they
efficient.
could, yeah, and if they have, after we give the guidelines, after we from tomorrow's meeting, is it tomorrow? No, Friday's meeting in Sheridan. That way they have that to look at as a template, but there's probably still gonna be questions. And this way we can answer them and get those answers for them. But I do agree we need to also, and we can address this shortly, but we need to meet next week to follow up with what was found out at Sheridan and get the guidelines.
Share
Out
with
there.
the other board members that aren't able to go.
Correct.
And the woman I spoke with, the former trustee at Sheridan, said that if after the meeting on Friday, it is something that we want, we can have specific meetings with their, street department, whatever, to get more specific details.
And that might be something to be good for the subcommittees to do too.
Switching lanes here. On the governance subcommittee, probably be a good idea to have representation from Baker Tilly involved with that.
Well, I was thinking either that or our lawyers. I'm not sure, what do you guys think? I thought because there'll be a lot of technicalities involved in that.
Is that their area of expertise though? I don't think it is.
Well, they seem to be well-versed in most of it, but.
They are,
But again, I think it would be maybe, so we don't have to do it twice, maybe it would be helpful if we had some lead from, or had the ability to go to our lawyers and utilize them, especially in the governance. We want to get that right.
I guess that's something that you'd work on.
I'm sorry?
I guess that's something that you would work on.
Hello, Noel Collier. I would greatly prefer a lawyer and not necessarily representative from Baker Tilly, because the lawyers are gonna be able to look at state code for the
Yeah.
governance. If it's not something that would be cumbersome for the lawyers, a recommendation for somebody that maybe would be able to keep us within the state guidelines so that it keeps it moving forward, would be my recommendation as someone on the subcommittee that I would greatly appreciate.
But I know there's a balancing act with, when you're drawing districts, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember what it is, but, you can't have 10,000 people in one and 200 in another. So we'd have to be cognizant of where the population centers are, or where people are, and draw those boundaries appropriate. And they also have to be by precinct lines, so there's a lot of other things that.
Do we have those kind of,
A lot of it's already been set in stone by state statute. And so some of the things you may decide, do you want a 5-member board? Do you want a 7-member board? What do you want? So, but at the end of the day, I think the governance committee will be involved in setting up by statute what we're gonna do, how many people we're gonna vote on, and get it all in a form where we can report back to the larger committee. And so I think it's kind of pretty straight and narrow what we all have to do as far as governance, except for maybe things like how many board members you want. Does that sound right?
And if I may just add my perception of what the subcommittees are supposed to do, they report to you, they give you a report, and then the board makes the ultimate decision. So we're just giving the recommendations of everything that we find. And so that's all I have to say about that, but.
I think generally that's my impression.
I mean, even down to when you have your meetings in the future and how often, I mean, all those things, I don't know that that statute, but those are the kind of things you might want to think about as well. I mean, what we do now seems pretty good, but maybe it's not.
I mean, obviously, Mr. Cook and I are happy to assist as requested, but if the Tom Spencer is who I think it is, he is an attorney. Okay, so.
And used to be a town attorney.
He was over in Owen County, and he's the former,
Ellettsville.
yeah, that's true, that was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
You have an attorney on your board or on your committee.
So,
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Scott Reynolds.
And
attorney, too.
Tom is very, very, he'll do due diligence. He'll do all the expertise. Well, the one thing that where are we getting demographics from for the township? We pretty much know the town.
Say it again.
Demographics for the township.
Well, I think we can be helpful. I mean, one of the things that you're going to have some people do some lifting for you. And so I think because the town is already set up, we have a network, we have crews, we have people in departments. When you ask for something, if you can run them through me or go straight to the department head, but I think it'd be better if you run it through me, just so we have some,
I think he's talking about the demographics on population.
but we can find all that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Demographics, you know,
the
covers
demographics, the
how
county.
many households, how many,
Right, the county recorder,
What
Tron
kind of-
Enright, has volunteered to help with that information, with GIS
Right.
and overlays and anything else that we can.
What specifically in demographic are you talking about? Just general?
general demographics. You know.
Okay, 'cause
Remember, everything that I do comes from a business standpoint. So I
Well-
want to know how many households in a 1, 3, and 5 mile area. You don't want to know that here.
The Kelly School of Business actually hosts the website for the Indiana version of the census, so it's easily obtainable. I was on the website today, so.
They'll have the mix of what the ages are,
Yes,
all
yes, they have
that
that.
kind
Right.
of stuff. Okay.
We just need to be prepared to get the
Household
information
income,
to
you know,
people,
all
just
that
to
kind of stuff.
committees that
We
need
have
it.
somebody who's waiting
Yep.
to say something.
I don't know if this is where you need it or not, but earlier when you were looking at people to fill your subcommittees, someone made a comment about someone being on 2 subcommittees. I would like to think that you certainly have a larger pool of people. I know that there are names that you have not looked at that are on our pools, so I would strongly urge that you not put someone on 2 committees. Not for their workload, but for the fact that then you have a much broader outlook with this whole process. Valerie Dwar, sorry.
Okay, we talked about meeting next week. We talked about a work session. What's your pleasure?
I think it should be definitely a work session.
Next week?
Yeah, because, I mean, our goal is to hash out the guidelines and stuff, and
What's the parameters for the work session for posting it? You got to post it?
yes,
Okay.
I always suggest that you post it.
it'll be 48 hours in advance. saying
Yes.
this.
48 hours, that's it.
And it should be for the establishment of the objectives of the designated committees.
Let's hash out what we find out Friday.
Well, the Friday thing will probably be a result of that.
Yeah.
But I may be getting confused with executive sessions and work sessions, but one of them has to be focused. We have to specify what I know executive sessions you do, but work sessions the same way? I thought you kind of had to,
I typically advise having an agenda and listing on your notice what you're going to talk about. And I also suggest on the work sessions that you say on the notice that no votes will be taken, no final decisions will be made, but you're exchanging information, or like when you heard your presentation from Baker Tilly
Right.
back in November, that was a work session, I think, is the way it was advertised.
Well, then the question is, do we want to make it just a general public meeting? Because we'll need to vote on this to get this to the subcommittees,
Need to vote on what?
The objectives?
the objectives.
Okay.
Excuse me, William, I have a BZA meeting next Wednesday at 6.
I don't think we've even discussed time.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know.
I appreciate it. That was a question I was going to ask, so you read my mind.
Unless you want to do it on Tuesday or Thursday next week.
I can't.
Unless you want to do it on Tuesday or Thursday next week, so.
I'll be out of town until Wednesday.
I cannot do Thursday.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who's going to Sheridan? I know you are, Dawn. Who else? Kevin
And Mike?
and Mike. Okay,
And Kip.
okay.
Okay, so
We could-
just 3 board members, just so we're.
No, it looks
No,
like
just
2.
2, okay, thank you.
So one more board member could go and not
Yes.
constitute a quorum.
Yes.
Well, let's just keep our next regular meeting, and at that meeting, come to decision on the objectives. for the
Well, we
subcommittee.
really have to get the objectives out. Because if we don't get the objectives out with the subcommittees,
Yeah,
they're gonna have nothing to meet
I just
on.
don't think we're ready for a work session with the subcommittees.
No, not with them, but the objectives to,
Yeah.
yeah, we have to get the objectives to them first.
Sure.
Then that's what I'm saying, step 1 is
The work session.
the work session to determine the objectives, and then,
Better.
right,
And I want to make a recommendation that these are general in nature.
yes,
I don't think they'd be really,
yes,
truly specific or something that one of these things we think we should, but I think we got to let the committee develop their own inside to make it work for their committee, so.
make it on Tuesday or one of the other days, can you zoom in?
I'm preaching Thursday.
Okay, I don't think they'd like another screen up there. And we still need the 2-day notice, so it definitely wouldn't be really, I'd say, before Wednesday.
Monday. Is that too
Monday's
soon?
council.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have the RDC meeting?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so we'll be booked up that day.
Well, one other thing we can do is Friday morning,
next Friday morning?
yeah. Or one of the mornings,
No, why can't we do Tuesday?
Jerry won't be here, Dr. Sanders won't be here Tuesday.
Okay.
I am available Tuesday the 13th in the evening.
Okay. We still, I would be available too.
How do you feel about that, Jerry? Just coming up with the objectives on Tuesday.
When?
Tuesday, this
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Without me?
Is that something that you want to be,
No, that's fine. I could always look at them.
or like they said?
Yeah, we'll send them out internally for feedback.
Yeah,
I mean, we can do that.
and do it Tuesday, sooner the better.
Noel, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna recommend that if we needed another space, if potentially there was an overlap in a meeting or something, I know that the fire department has an excellent space, the DPW has an excellent space if we're just doing a work session. I just wanted to put that out to the board to remind them that there are various spaces in the town that
That's a
we
great
could
point.
utilize to make sure that we keep moving forward and we're not missing timelines due to overlap in meetings.
You also have to consider, did those places, other places have the option for the video?
Yes.
and-
Yes.
okay,
I only recommend places that can be live streamed.
Okay. Awesome.
Monday, I have both RDC and the council meetings, but I'm confident enough this board, we're still gonna come up with something if I'm not here.
I think Tuesday, I think if we had time, the people that went, we can bounce it back and forth, think about it over the weekend, touch base if we need to with each other on Monday, and then come armed on Tuesday. Mike, what do
I'm
you
good with
think?
that.
Mr. Cornman, what do you think? How's Tuesday sound?
What time on Tuesday?
That's, yeah, what time?
Well, what do you think?
I have a township meeting, a seminar that I am attending from 9 to 4 in Plainfield, so I will not be available until after.
6 or so.
Yeah.
Well, is Tuesday a possibility for you? Say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should see my schedule, so it's, you know, it
And if
doesn't
you're still
really
in
matter
transit, you
what
can
day.
zoom in.
Right.
I'm giving you an out there.
I know you are, but
Okay.
my schedule's crazy.
I'm available from 5 p.m. on, so.
So I want to say 6,
6, I think I can do 6.
Tuesday. And if people can't make it, then we can always, well, no, because you gotta, so we'd have to
Tuesday.
post that.
13th.
We have to post that tomorrow.
Here? Yeah, tomorrow.
Mike, is town hall open next Tuesday? I mean, do we have anything else booked?
I don't think so, but we'll look. Noah and I'll look, make sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because we need to get the notice out tomorrow. We're good? Okay. We need to get the notice out tomorrow.
Take care of that.
Now, with our attorneys, always the question of, what do you call the open door law? Are we able to circulate drafts of our comments on this back and forth? Or does the first time we see these things have to be at a public meeting? Because, I mean, it's, I guess I'm saying, you know, they come back and take some notes, send it to us, and one of us says, hey, here's my thoughts, here's my ideas, and then we can amend or change that at the meeting. How does this function? Because this is one of the things we've been running into regularly. And, you know, complying with the open door law sounds easy, but when you're dealing with minutia like this, it's not as easy as, because if everybody sees it the very first time, what they're gonna say is, well, I've had no time to look over this. I have no idea where we stand with this. So are we able to just not make any decisions on it? You know, not say, I'm voting this way. Need some guidance on that, please.
Well, my suggestion would be that the board handle it the way, probably the township board does it and the town council does it, is you have a packet of materials that circulates and is posted for the public if they want to look at it, and then you can discuss it among yourselves at the public meeting. And I have no problem with, having looked at some public access counselor opinions this week, I would have no problem with you exchanging some ideas one-on-one to add to that list or to add to the list of objectives or recommendations, so long as no final decision is made in an email.
Okay.
I'm okay with somebody saying, let's add this or let's add this for discussion, as long as it does not appear in the emails that you have,
So we're making a final
that you have come to a
decision on rating what we're
consensus.
doing.
Because there's an exception under the open door law for administrative tasks,
Right.
day-to-day things, so I think that's fine.
I just don't, you know, I guess I'm very, I don't want to say nervous, but this is so big, I don't want anybody to think we're trying to comply with the letter of the law, but not the spirit of it. But I don't think the public expects us every meeting to say, okay, let's start this from scratch. And then-
No, and I don't think the public access counselor would say that either.
Right, okay.
So I am happy to put together or start an outline of the objectives for the various committees and
That would be phenomenal.
get that to you, you know, this weekend or Monday,
That would be great.
probably. And just so you have something to look at that you
And then we
can
can
add to.
incorporate at the meeting anything, you know, are you going to, I forgot, you're not going to Sheridan, are you?
I
or-
am, actually.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right, so we will be well represented. And Dr. Sanders, I know you just were appointed tonight, but Friday, since we have a slot now open, you're welcome to go too, to pick their brain.
It's at 2:30.
2, actually,
Two.
it's at 2. They think we're coming at 2.
I suggested we leave at 11:30
So you're gonna take care of the work session advertisement?
I will take care of the public notice, and just so we're clear, we're meeting next Tuesday at 6 here at the town hall.
Yep.
And the only thing on the agenda is to review the objectives for the subcommittees.
Yes.
Do we need to vote on that, setting that extra meeting, or is it just consensus, we're good?
I think you're fine. I think the
Okay.
public notice will take care of that.
Great.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Roz Grossman. I've lived here almost 40 years. Where is your historical preservation and archival? Is that going to be under Parks and Rec, since you have your cemeteries there?
That's a good question.
I would say we'll take that under consideration.
Right.
Okay.
And kind of leave that up to the subcommittees.
Okay, so you would have a scope within your subcommittees that says you shouldn't go any further than this, stay in this realm, or you're going to open it for them to think about those things?
How would you like to serve on that subcommittee?
Which one? Parks and Rec? Sure.
What is your concern, to drill down so I can make sure that you're heard with historic preservation in the sense of, like, not just, I'll just throw an example out here, not just tearing down our downtown section or places in Richland Township and building a shiny new thing or what's the, when you say historical preservation?
Well, they're broken down in different areas. So you have your history.
Right.
Then you have your preservation, which preserves that. And then you have your archival. And so it helps you to make your decisions. And because the minute you go to make a change to historical without the public knowing that, you're going to have an outcry. So I worked at IU for 50 years, and that's one of the things that was huge, that we always preserved the history. And naming process, your buildings were named based on certain things, and you had to have that information there before you announced it, because public always has a question, why are you choosing that person's name? So we all know that, but, okay.
Yeah, but his question stands. Would you like to
Sure.
serve? All right.
Sure, thank you.
We need to do a motion or an amendment?
We probably,
So we'll be amending our motion to place on the Parks, Rec, and Cemeteries Committee, and we would be adding, is it Rosalind Grossman? Roz Grossman for the Parks and Rec? Okay.
Oh, it's Gerstmann,
Gerstmann.
Gerst.
Thank you, ma'am.
Make a motion that we amend the subcommittee Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries to add Roz Gerst. Oh, is it Gerstmann?
Gerstmann.
I thought she just spelled it.
Second.
Second? All right. Vote?
Yeah, I vote yes.
I vote
Kevin,
yes.
yes. Jerry,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
I don't see an agenda, so are we
No,
finished?
there's two other things I think that need to bring up, and it should be, actually, one thing we actually have to decide on, but website update. Mike, I don't know if you saw the quote I sent to you. Okay. Do you have any issues?
That's fine.
We have a quote for somebody to do the website and kind of a portal of information, all-inclusive, and he'll manage it till November. Subcontract with the person you recommended. Yep, so, he said he could have the website up in a matter of days from the moment we sign the contract. And it comes in substantially cheaper than the other quote we had gotten. Substantially cheaper, so we appreciate that.
Tuesday?
Yes, let's go ahead and put that on the agenda for Tuesday.
Okay, can someone forward me the contract?
That would make,
Or-
we're having a work session.
That's-
Well, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought you were going to vote, in which
Yeah, we
case
have to
just
vote on the,
make it a regular meeting.
So it's a regular
Yeah.
meeting, okay.
So,
so we'll put that on there, and I don't think, he did not include a contract, did he? So,
You know, I don't remember, I saw the
Okay.
price, but. He
Just a-
did, because I sent it to Darrell.
he did, okay.
Well, I just, it was on the way here, so
Oh,
you
okay.
probably haven't
All
looked at
right.
it yet. And something else we may want to add, currently I have our PR people working on the card that we'll send out to the county. And I think content, we'll want to know what the committee wants for content and how, you know, how the card looks and everything. So we want to send something out that they'll notice,
We'd like to
use,
get
and
that
send
mailed
back,
tomorrow
so.
for the next day.
Wouldn't we want the website on that?
Well, that's just it.
Well,
Yeah.
the website would be on the card.
Well, that's just it, but if we don't have the website yet, we can't send the card
Or at
yet.
least the
Well, we
domain?
won't, it won't be ready, but we ought to talk about it and what you want on the.
How soon will it be ready?
Oh, I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay, because,
We have to figure out what we want on it.
yeah,
How soon do you want it?
yesterday.
I wish I'd have talked to you last week.
I mean, realistically, to mail them out, because we're meeting every 2 weeks, if we don't mail out tomorrow, it's gonna miss the next meeting again on that cutoff.
Well.
I
So-
don't have the information on it, I don't know why.
Well, the only thing we wouldn't have is the website. But,
Well, maybe they
That's
could go ahead and
biggie.
get the, maybe we could go ahead and get the,
Domain,
name or
or
the
domain
site.
or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, we could claim the site and then we'd have that and we could add it on.
correct, just do it.
Okay, well, I'll work on it and then I'll have an answer tomorrow
Okay.
afternoon.
But the language, let's decide what we want on there. Website for sure. You want that in a QR code or an actual URL?
Or do both,
You can do a QR code, but you have to have a URL because there are people
that don't know.
that don't know how to do that.
That still have a flip
Well, we
phone.
can have the information as well.
Right.
I mean, a lot of-
Okay,
Right, I mean,
that's what he's saying,
I mean,
QR
you just
code
have to
plus
have-
the,
Have to put the URL
Okay.
on there too.
I can't use a QR code, I just said it out loud. So my kids are watching, so they'll be impressed.
so that, all of our meeting dates, up until, I would say, April. Would you guys agree?
Do what?
All of our meeting dates until about April, or do you guys think we should have until May for the I mean, because a lot of the work's gonna come back to us where we have to hash this out, so,
I think May is good.
okay. And,
Right.
right,
I think we talked to Sharon.
Through May.
what's that?
I think we talked to Sharon.
Up to May, not including May.
Well, see, they, from what I understand, they did a postcard for every meeting 2 weeks in advance. And we're already well behind that.
And we can't afford
Right.
that anyway.
That's Hamilton County money.
And that work session, maybe it's time to start talking about some associated costs with all these activities.
But we're having a meeting, so
Pardon?
we'll be able to approve or not approve. Well, I mean, we can get general consensus so we can at least see a mock-up. I would say definitely all of our contact information.
When you say all of our contact, are you talking
Or
as a board?
Yes,
or
our board.
How big a card
You're
is this gonna
talking
be?
about individual board
Yeah.
members?
I mean, our PR people put this up. That's up there tonight. I asked them to put something
I
up
like the
and,
format.
and put it out, so, I mean, you know, so how big a card do you want and how much information do you want on it?
Well, we need to kind of have the mission statement for what we want to accomplish for the reorganization. Want to add that to Tuesday too? And that's something we can work on before Tuesday and have kind of a,
And I would point out that up till we started the committee and we got to this point, there's been some activity by the town and some by the township to get people interested in what we're doing. And we came out with a fact sheet, and I think there was a couple other things we sent out that had why we're doing what we're doing. So that should be reviewed, and then we need to back off what you really don't want to be part of that.
Right.
But we have said things up till now about the 30,000 view of what a reorganization would be, so,
And I think,
I don't think you can get that on the card.
No.
But when you start talking about objectives, I think that we need to look at the, we kept talking about the template that
Well, all that-
Sheridan and Adam
all that
had.
can be on the website, and on the card, just a sentence or two with the mission statement.
And if you
Right.
want, usually, when I talk to our people, I say, we kind of want this, and then they come up with something, I mean.
Right, they're the professionals.
I'm real clumsy sometimes with my words, and then I tell them, and then when they tell me what I just said, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty smart. So they can come up with something that maybe you would pick, or maybe we'll give you a couple, 3 choices if you want, that.
Yep.
Okay.
Diane Critchlow had a great idea too. We need to utilize it, this needs to be into the newsletter for the chamber. And I can't remember, Diane, if you want to come up, again, you suggested a couple things that were brilliant. If you could share with the group. I remember that one.
The chamber newsletter, Eric Spoonmore's on the subcommittee, so I think the Bloomington Chamber would be appropriate, just with the criteria that it has to be Richland Township or the town of Ellettsville. If you can give some ideas about what the expectation would be, you don't have the objective, but people with a background in X, Y, Z. Those things, public service announcements on the radio. I told William today, people from Union Valley, Smith Pike, Cray Pike on, we don't come west all that often. We go east, so we don't see Kevin's sign very often. And I talked to several people today. I don't hate this microphone. Okay, thanks, Mike. I talked to several people today that are in positions and very interested in this that knew nothing about 2 weeks ago or today, and would have applied to be on a subcommittee and knew nothing about it. So I think there's massive lack of knowledge, probably more in the township than the town. And because the people in the township don't pay that much attention to what happens at the town level. I think you've talked more about it at the town level than at the township level. So I would encourage any means. Social media, I look at Ellettsville High Neighbor usually at least once a day, and I only saw it once. Now, I don't think it's because it wasn't posted more often. It's just, guys, that scroll. I mean, you can post it 10 times a day and get different audiences on that. And all of the other little Ellettsville Facebook groups, as much as we often don't like them, people do read them. Yeah, I was going to say, you could probably go to town employees, and Noel could give you 10 different little groups that from people from the communities would look at. So, because you do want to have massive, I am amazed there are not more people here tonight. Totally amazed that, and I'm amazed that you didn't have more people apply for the subcommittees, because this is huge.
Knows people that would like to serve on the subcommittees.
Well, I've been doing that.
Even now.
But
Okay.
I'm one person, and just one person. So just, I don't think people have the understanding of what this encompasses. It's only been done one other time in our state. So it's not just an ordinance.
It's actually been done a few more times.
Has it
but-
been done
Yeah,
a few more
but
times?
it's been several years since it's been done. Recent history is just the one time, yes.
Okay, the one
Yeah.
in the recent, that people would have reference to, if nothing else, to go look at Sheridan, what is that? People are like, what is that? They doing a mass annexation? And, people do not understand what this is, but you do want massive input, and not just, I think on those subcommittees, it's important that people have a background, especially in the special ones that require that, but have some general public input into those too.
Yes.
To where people don't feel alienated and come back and say, oh yeah, it was the same old people. And I'm glad, I think Valerie said 2 people and 1 person on 2 different committees. I think you would try to avoid that. So we cannot be accused again of the same old people doing the same old things, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay, thanks.
So that brings up one of the questions I was going to ask. We had a prompt for asking for more members for the subcommittee that we could have sent out today, and it was late in the day, so I said I'd wait till the committee was together and ask if they want us to go ahead and send that out. And maybe we could, you know, the subline could be, if you don't want to be on a subcommittee, then please consider attending the meetings, and we could put the meetings on the prompt as well. And you know, from here on out, we can do 1 or 2 a week and really step up promoting this. But up till now, I was kind of waiting until the committee was together, and I've tried not to get in front of the committee, but we could do, our PR could do that and address what Diane just talked about. So, that's a yeah. Okay. Okay.
Anything else? I had a question about the website. Do we envision that website being hosted on the Town of Ellettsville page, or are we looking for a completely standalone, independent thing?
Say that again?
Is the website going to be a completely independent, standalone page, not part of any existing Ellettsville government page or Richland Township?
I think it should be. Don't you?
Standalone.
Yes.
With links. With links. Hyperlinks from the chamber, the town.
Links to everything.
The township, any place you can get a hyperlink.
What do you guys think about the website EllettsvilleRichlandInfo.org? It's not a .com site, it's a .org. I actually went ahead and already grabbed it a couple weeks ago just to have it in my back pocket. So it's a transferable domain that we could use, and we could have the site built on that if you
Can
guys.
you do .reorg? But no.
Say that again.
The website, potentially, I'm asking how people feel about the idea of Ellettsville Richland Info. All one word, no dashes, no dots, no punctuation. EllettsvilleRichlandInfo.org.
I like it. It's simple.
That's what it is, so. Yes.
All right, we decided everything, William. It's all set.
What's that? Yeah, I'm good with that. I trust you guys.
Do we need to put that to a vote?
Yes.
Make a motion.
Yep. It would be to use
For our website.
EllettsvilleRichlandInfo.org.
I make a motion that we get registered as EllettsvilleRichlandInfo.org.
I'll second.
Okay.
All right, we have a vote?
Is there any other discussion that we want to have? William was out of the room.
I'm up to speed.
Okay, cool. And that would at least, we can redirect that and put whatever else we need on that page at any point, but that at least gives us a stable, comprehensible URL that can go on the
Yes.
postcard. Any questions or comments from the public on that? Does that sound easy enough to understand and share and communicate? EllettsvilleRichlandInfo.org. Okay, I'm going to call the roll. On the motion to use EllettsvilleRichlandInfo.org for the site, I vote yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Dawn?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Does that address everything, William?
Well, I think so, other than, I would love for the cards to be mailed out tomorrow, but I'd rather us do it right than
Do it
spend
fast.
thousands of dollars and find out we've left
Forgot
something. Yeah, and I just, my intensity, I feel like we're, I'm impatient, I'll just put it that way. And, but we've got to do this right, and I just, I want to make sure the subcommittees especially have the tools they need. And every meeting, we're going to get more information, we're going to get better at this, and by the time it's done, it's going to be a well-oiled machine.
Okay, Okay, I want to thank the public for coming out tonight, and we'll meet next Tuesday.
Got a motion to adjourn.